Jain students. So in the previous class we have discussed about one of the chemicals which are obtained from sodium chloride, and that is sodium hydroxide. We have discussed already about the production or the synthesis of sodium hydroxide through sodium chloride. Today we are going to talk about few more compounds or chemicals which are obtained from sodium chloride. So let us see the very first one. So we are first of all going to talk about bleaching powder, its preparation, properties and uses. Students, you all must have seen this kind of thing happening nearby in your surrounding. These people keep a white colored powder with them and they just put it towards the roadside. So what is that powder, or which is that chemical? This is only the bleaching powder which they are using for a process of disinfection. So in the uses again we will talk about that bleaching powder is a kind of disinfectant and it is able to kill the germs which is present in the nearby surroundings. So this is how the bleaching powder looks like. It's a white colored powder as you can see here in the picture. Now, if you can see here, the chemical name of bleaching powder is calcium oxychloride and its chemical formula is CaOCl2. Calcium oxychloride and formula is CaOCl2. Now, we will talk about its process, how is it obtained, and then after we will talk about its reaction, and at the same time we will talk about the properties as well as the uses. So as you all can see, the process by which the bleaching powder is obtained is the electrolysis of aqueous sodium chloride, which is also called as brine solution. Now what are we going to do here? We are going to take the chloride and we will pass the chlorine gas on dry slaked lime, that is calcium hydroxide solution, and then we will obtain bleaching powder and water. The reaction is given here. Then let us talk about this in more detail. Now, this is the plant, or which is also called as Bachmann's plant, from which the bleaching powder is produced or manufactured. Now, if you can see, the slaked lime is put up from the hopper, and the horizontal shelves are present, which keeps on rotating, and from the bottom side, chlorine inlet is present, which in which the chlorine gas is continuously passed, and then after they both comes in contact, that is the slaked lime and chlorine gas, at the bottom where the receiver is there, the bleaching powder is obtained. So this is the receiver part, and from here we find that the slaked lime is added, and from this inlet the chlorine gas is added, and ultimately after the reaction gets completed, the bleaching powder, that is calcium oxychloride, gets produced here. So here you can see the different reactions which are involved in the same has been discussed here. I'll discuss it in the next slides. Now this is more a simplified diagram of the same, where you can see the slaked lime with compressed air is added up from an inlet, and then after when it is added here, it is going through the different shelves, and then after when chlorine comes in the contact to the lower inlet here, the production of bleaching powder will take place at the bottom here towards the receiver part. This process is called as Bachmann's plant. Now, if you can see here the properties of calcium oxychloride, it is a yellowish white powder and has a strong smell of chlorine. And as we all know that chlorine is a very good disinfectant, and we use it in the disinfection of the swimming pools water also. So similarly here also bleaching powder can be used as a disinfectant, and it has a strong smell of chlorine. Now the reaction with carbon dioxide, you can see when calcium oxychloride, that is the bleaching powder, reacts with carbon dioxide, it forms calcium carbonate with chlorine. Calcium carbonate, which is also called as limestone or marble in general. So this is another chemical property, or you can say the action of air. When it is exposed to air, it gives the smell of chlorine, and it is just because carbon dioxide which is present in the air reacts with the bleaching powder and liberates chlorine, as you can see here in the given reaction. So the reaction of carbon dioxide is actually its action of air. Now when we talk about its reaction with the dilute acids, you can see with sulfuric acid it is forming its corresponding salt, that is calcium sulfate, and water and chlorine is the common product. Similarly with the hydrochloric acid it is forming corresponding salt, which is calcium chloride with water and chlorine gas. Now there are few of the uses of bleaching powder which is given here, that is bleaching cotton, linen and in textile industries, and for bleaching washed cloths in laundries, used as an oxidizing agent in many chemical industries, used for disinfecting water to make water free from microorganisms, and is used for manufacture of chloroform. Chloroform is one of the organic compound having the chemical formula CHCl3. It makes the wool unshrinkable. Now, these are few of the things which can be done with the help of the bleaching powder, that is boosting of the laundry detergents, removal of the clothing stains, brightening of the white cloths, removing carpet and upholstery stains, and cleaning the grouts. So all these are the different functions or the uses where we can utilize the bleaching powder. Okay, this is the part from which you can note down the notes in your fair notebook. So if you can see here that the principle of manufacture, the chlorine produced as a byproduct during manufacture of caustic soda, and that is why we are saying that these are the chemicals which we are getting from the sodium chloride. So sodium, while we were doing the electrolysis of sodium chloride, there were a few products which were formed. Three of the products were sodium hydroxide, chlorine gas and hydrogen gas. So here we are going to take the chlorine gas which was done or which was produced during the electrolysis of brine solution. So directly or indirectly it is one of the chemical which is obtained through the sodium chloride. And here it is being produced by the action of chlorine gas on rice flake lime, that is calcium hydroxide, and the following reaction is taking place here as I have discussed previously. Now the solution is milky because some untreated lime is still present, and the plant generally used for the manufacturing of bleaching powder is called as Hazen-Clever plant. If it can be manufactured with the help of Hazen-Clever plant as well as with the help of Bachmann's plant or manufacturing process as well. Now moving on to the properties, once again color and state I have already told you that it is solid and yellowish white powder, and this reaction also I have discussed just now. When bleaching powder comes in contact with air, that is carbon dioxide present in the air, it forms chlorine gas, and that's why it gives a chlorine like smell. Similarly, its solubility in water, it is soluble in cold water, and its milkiness in the solution is due to the fact that there is some unreacted lime which is present and is insoluble in water. Now the next is the action of acids, where you can see there is the formation of corresponding salt along with water and chlorine gas. With excess of the acid, all chlorine is liberated, and the amount of chlorine thus liberated is called as available chlorine. Now uses, as you all can see here, in uses you can see the important uses are textile industry for bleaching cotton and linen, paper industry, laundry for bleaching washcloth, making wool unshrinkable. All these uses I have already discussed. For disinfecting drinking water, and in many chemical industries used as an oxidizing agent. The reaction of the same can be given. There is a term called as nascent oxygen. Nascent oxygen here means atomic oxygen. As we all know that oxygen cannot be present in its atomic form. But yes, with the help of oxidizing agents, we can produce the atomic oxygen. But as soon as these atomic oxygen called as nascent oxygen are formed, it gets utilized during the reaction, and the unused nascent oxygen immediately gets destroyed. It cannot remain in the atmosphere in its atomic form or nascent form. It will always exist in the molecular oxygen form. You can see here bleaching powder undergoing reaction with sulfuric acid will form calcium sulfate, calcium chloride and hypochlorous acid, that is HClO. Now this HClO will again dissociate to form hydrochloric acid plus this oxygen which is called as nascent oxygen. Now the another use of bleaching powder in the manufacture of chloroform. This is the part which has been discussed here, although very short discussion is given in the NCERT, but with the notes what I have provided, you can always complete the writing part in your notebook so that you get a complete information regarding the given chemical. These are the uses given in the NCERT. They are similar ones what I have discussed previously. Okay, so the next chemical I'm going to talk about is the baking soda, and baking soda is one of the things which you can find very readily at your homes. It's very commonly present and used in the different food materials. Now, this is the structure, and if you could look at the number of atoms and the variety of atoms given, the formula of the chemical formula of baking soda is NaHCO3, and its chemical name is sodium hydrogen carbonate, or it can also be called as sodium bicarbonate. Now, the principle of manufacture is the Solvay process or ammonia soda process. How is it done? Let's see that. Now, here we are obtaining the baking soda also from the sodium chloride as one of the raw materials. Now, and this process, as I told you, is called as Solvay process and ammonia soda process. What is the method here? In this method, it is based upon the principle that if a solution of sodium chloride called brine is saturated with ammonia, is allowed to react with carbon dioxide, this sodium bicarbonate and ammonium chloride are formed according to the following reaction. Let's see, when we take ammonia and dissolve it in water and pass carbon dioxide, it leads to the formation of ammonium hydrogen carbonate. Now this ammonium hydrogen carbonate is allowed to react with sodium chloride, which forms the sodium hydrogen carbonate and ammonium chloride. So if we add the two reactions here, we will find sodium chloride on undergoing reaction with water, carbon dioxide and ammonia leads to formation of ammonium chloride and sodium hydrogen carbonate. So simply, if you do not write these two reaction and write this last reaction simply, it will be okay, and this will be considered as the complete reaction for the formation of the or simply the Solvay process has got completed. So once again I am repeating how the sodium hydrogen carbonate is formed. When sodium chloride undergoes reaction with water, carbon dioxide and ammonia having the formula NH3, it leads to the formation of ammonium chloride plus sodium hydrogen carbonate, which is commonly called as baking soda. Now this baking soda formed in the above reaction is sparingly means slightly, not completely, soluble in water, whereas ammonium chloride is highly soluble. So the sodium bicarbonate separates out as solid and then it is filtered out and then dried. Now, on a small scale, it can be prepared in the laboratory also. How? By passing carbon dioxide gas through aqueous sodium carbonate solution. As you can see, sodium carbonate, which is Na2CO3, also commonly called as soda ash, plus water and carbon dioxide forms sodium bicarbonate or sodium hydrogen carbonate. So this is the large scale production and this is the small scale production of baking soda. Now let's talk about the properties here. When we see about the properties, it's white crystalline solid. You all can check the baking soda which is there at your homes. Action of air, it is stable in the air. There is no any reaction, or it does not undergo any reaction with any component of air, and that's why it is said as it is stable in air. Its solubility in water, as just now I told you, it is sparingly or partially soluble in water, and the solution is alkaline in nature due to salt hydrolysis. Now, what is salt hydrolysis? When we dissolve it in water, then it again separates or ionizes or dissociates back to form its parent acid and base from which it has been formed. So here, since it is a salt, it has been formed from sodium hydroxide and carbonic acid. So this is the reaction which is representing the hydrolysis of sodium bicarbonate. Sodium hydroxide formed here is a strong base and the carbonic acid here is the weak base. So the solution is basic. So I hope it is clear because I have already discussed about the nature of salts. That is, it can be acidic, basic or neutral depending upon which acid or which base is undergoing reaction to form the salt. The next property is the action of heat. So if we are heating the sodium hydrogen carbonate or its aqueous solution is being boiled, it will give out carbon dioxide. So here we will find that sodium carbonate, water and carbon dioxide is formed on heating the aqueous solution of the sodium bicarbonate, or if we are heating directly the sodium bicarbonate solid one, then also the products are going to be the same. And it is for this reason that we are using this baking powder as a constituent to aerate the dough. You all must have seen for making the dough softer, we are adding the baking soda, and it is a part of so many South Indian dishes. So here the baking soda is a very important constituent of our food material being prepared also. Now with the acids, sodium bicarbonate, because here it is forming the corresponding salt, water and carbon dioxide. So as you all can see the reaction given here with hydrochloric acid, it is forming sodium chloride, water and carbon dioxide as the products. So these were few of the properties which you are supposed to know. Next is the uses of sodium bicarbonate or baking soda. The very first is an antacid. In class 7th only you have been told about the antacids. Antacids are those chemicals which neutralizes the effect of excess acid. So antacids here, the baking soda can be used as in the form of medicine as an antacid. Secondly, it can be used as an additive in food and drinks. So baking. Okay, here I would like to just mention one point, that baking soda. Many of us think that baking soda and baking powder is similar. So it's not similar. Baking powder is a mixture of sodium bicarbonate and a mild edible acid such as tartaric acid or a citric acid. So always remember, the baking soda and the baking powder, they are not similar. They have a different property about which I'll be talking in the next few slides. So baking powder here can be used in the different foods and the drinks as an additive. Now here what we are doing in making certain foodstuffs such as bread, cake, etc., where the softness and fluffiness is required, baking powder is added. And this is because on heating, sodium bicarbonate decomposes to give out carbon dioxide, which causes the bread or cake to rise and makes them highly porous. The function of tartaric acid or citric acid is to neutralize sodium carbonate formed during heating, or as otherwise the cake or bread will taste bitter. So here we will find that baking powder, which is a mixture of sodium bicarbonate and a mild edible acid, is used in the different kind of food materials, especially to make them porous and fluffy. Now, the next use of sodium bicarbonate is in the fire extinguisher because it is able to produce carbon dioxide. So, sodium hydrogen carbonate is used in soda acid fire extinguisher, wherein it is an acid base reaction which will go on, and on requirement there is a production of carbon dioxide which will lead to the fire to get extinguished. Now, this is the part of NCERT which has been mentioned. You can go through it once again. I have all discussed all these things in detail already. This is the reaction which you can see in right. This is H plus from any acid, that is the formation of any sodium salt of acid plus carbon dioxide and water. This is baking powder which has been represented here. Now these are few of the top uses of baking soda, as you can see. Relieves skin itch from insect bite and pain from sunburn. Helps relieve baby diaper rash. Oven cleaner, bathtub tile scrub, silver polish, drain cleaner. Anti-acid chemical smells out of cloths. Underarm deodorants. Toothpaste, dog odors and urine. Face and body scrub help to soften the skin also. Baking powder and baking soda difference I have already told you. Baking soda is simply sodium bicarbonate, whereas baking powder is the mixture of baking soda and then mild edible acid, maybe tartaric acid or the citric acid. These are a few of the differences which you can note down in your notebook, where you can see an important point: no acidifying agent, and here there will be an acidifying agent. So this is all about the baking soda, its preparation, its properties and the uses. Next, we are going to talk about washing soda, which is another chemical obtained from sodium chloride. Now, washing soda, as you all can see, this is the crystal structure. Its appearance is this white colored powder, and its bond formation will be like this. The formula of the same is Na2CO3.10H2O. That is sodium carbonate decahydrate. Why this decahydrate? Because 10 molecules of water of crystallization is associated with it to form washing soda. Washing soda chemical name sodium carbonate. It will not only be sodium carbonate, rather we should write it as sodium carbonate decahydrate, and chemical formula Na2CO3.10H2O, which you can see over here. The reaction with which we are obtaining it, that is sodium bicarbonate. In the previous slides I have discussed the same thing. When it is heated, it forms sodium carbonate plus water plus carbon dioxide. So this sodium carbonate, when it is formed, is this sodium carbonate after being formed is added with 10 water molecules of crystallization to lead to formation of sodium carbonate decahydrate, which is the washing soda here. This is obtained from sodium chloride, and the chemical formula is Na2CO3.10H2O, and it is obtained by heating baking soda. Recrystallization of sodium carbonate gives the washing soda. Recrystallization here means if we are adding that water of crystallization, and in this case it is 10 water molecules of crystallization which is added to sodium carbonate here, then it again reforms the washing soda. Now, this is The whole notes which you can note down. Chemical name is sodium carbonate decahydrate, and the formula is Na2CO3.10H2O. Then sodium carbonate also exists in two other forms, and that is sodium carbonate monohydrate, that is just one water molecule of crystallization, and anhydrous sodium carbonate, and this anhydrous sodium carbonate is only called as soda ash. So sodium carbonate may be present in various forms. If it is monohydrate, it is just one water molecule. If it is 10 water molecule, then it is washing soda, that is decahydrate. And if it is anhydrous, then it is soda ash. Now principle is again Solvay process or ammonia soda process, with which we were obtaining the previous chemical only. So this is same as I already discussed on the manufacture of sodium hydrogen carbonate. So here we are going to do the thermal decomposition of sodium hydrogen carbonate. So before, if we have to get the sodium carbonate, we will be required to first of all produce sodium hydrogen carbonate with a similar process in which we have discussed in the previous slide, where we found that it is the sodium chloride when it is undergoing reaction with water, carbon dioxide and ammonia, leading to formation of ammonium chloride plus sodium bicarbonate. So that sodium bicarbonate which will be formed in step 1 will be taken in step 2, and then it will be heated to form anhydrous sodium carbonate, and with that there will be formation of carbon dioxide and water. Now what we are going to do, we are going to recrystallize it, and we will add 10 water molecule of crystallization, and then it will form the washing soda. Now the properties of washing soda: color and state. It is transparent crystalline solid containing 10 molecules of water of crystallization. Action of air: when it is exposed, it gets converted from transparent to white colored powder, where it will get converted from decahydrate to monohydrate condition, and 9 water molecule of crystallization will get evaporated. And this process is called as efflorescence. Remember this term, efflorescence. Now in solubility, it dissolves in water to give a solution which is alkaline in nature, and hence it turns red litmus to blue color. Now this alkaline nature can be explained with the help of salt hydrolysis. If you can see, this sodium carbonate, when it is dissolved in water, forms sodium hydroxide plus carbonic acid. So it is ionizing here. Sodium hydroxide is ionizing completely to large amount of to give large amount of hydroxide ion, so it is a strong base, whereas there is a partial ionization in the case of carbonic acid, and therefore it is a weak acid. So the nature of the sodium carbonate is basic or alkaline. Now when it is talked about action of heat. Now in action of heat, you can see when washing soda is heated, simply the 10 water molecule of crystallization gets removed from there and it goes into the atmosphere, and now it is the soda ash which is formed here. It is anhydrous sodium carbonate. Action of acid: washing soda on reacting with any acid gives the corresponding salt and the two common products, water and carbon dioxide. So with HCl it is giving sodium chloride, and with sulfuric acid it is providing sodium sulfate. Now reaction with hard water here. When it comes to hard water, the hardness is basically due to the presence of calcium or magnesium salts. So on adding sodium carbonate, they are precipitated as calcium or magnesium carbonates, which can be filtered off, and hence water becomes soft. So this calcium chloride which is present in the hard water, when reacts with sodium carbonate, it is actually the double displacement reaction which will go on, and there will be formation of calcium carbonate, which is the precipitate, and sodium chloride salt here. So just recall the very first chapter where you have studied about the different kinds of reactions already. Now when it is talked about the uses, as the name suggests, it is used in the laundry for cleaning of the clothes, for removing permanent hardness of the water. Manufacture of a number of useful products like glass, soap, paper, borax, caustic soda, etc. Used in the laboratory as a laboratory agent. For example, its standard solution can be prepared to carry out acid-base titration. What is acid-base titration? We will be studying in the higher classes. This is the part which has been discussed and dealt in your NCERT. The same uses what I have discussed previously has been discussed here also. So this is the gist of the whole topic what I have discussed just now and the reactions which are involved here. So washing soda versus baking soda. You can see the formula Na2CO3.10H2O where pH is almost 11. So you need to wear gloves because they may cause some kind of problem. And here the baking soda is pH is slightly basic, so there is no any problem with the skin also. These are few of the points of differentiation between the washing soda and the baking soda. So this is all for today. So please go through the whole video properly and copy down the notes in your fair notebook. Thank you everyone. Jai Hind.